many of y'all out there truly hate y'all girlfriend? Like, you can't stand the sight of her.
Lose my number, because you are dead to me. D-E-D, dead.
But no, for real, even in some cases where people don't actually truly hate their girlfriends, people do have certain tendencies and certain behaviors they do inflict upon their significant other where it, on the outside looking in, it does look like you hate your girl. And I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. The way they talk behind closed doors, the way they be moving, the way they'll prioritize one thing over another. Sometimes you'll be thinking to yourself, dang, do they even really like their partner for real, for
real? Pay me to black him out.
You don't love me as much as I do. Like, it's not mutual.
In the friend group, we always got that one homie, and he's always complaining about his girl. As if, like, she's, like, an object, not important to her. And, like, she will, like, genuinely be caring about this. And he's just like, oh, she get on my nerves. I'm trying to hoop. But she's genuinely asking this man, does she want Gatorade or something when he comes home? But he literally doesn't give it. Like, don't care. Like, some dudes just genuinely hate the thought of being responsible in a relationship with the girl. They hate girls that, like, had it kind of like mom sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, just looking over you a little bit. Like, some dudes hate that. Like, bruh, why she always got to know where I'm at? Why she always got to know what I'm doing? I hate that.
So today we're going to be reacting to I Hate My Girlfriend by Tron, in which he goes into this deeper. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Let's get into the video.
I Hate My Girlfriend Final Bosses. These men on the forefront may present themselves as being passionate, loving, considerate boyfriends. However, that's nothing more than a facade. In reality, they are very selfish, self-serving, possessive, and very controlling partners. For the most part, the appeal for them of being with these women is that they are able to extract favors and value from them. The relationship is more so about what they can get from these women than anything else. What being with this type of woman says about them, rather than any earnest interest in getting to know these women and loving them fully. Oftentimes in these dynamics, the woman has to do a lot of emotional and domestic labor in the relationship. They have to be these men's lovers, their caretakers, their nurses, and their mothers wrapped up in one. The comedy derives from how the men in their lives devalue the roles they play and the labor they extend to make their lives better. Being taken for granted is just a necessary part of a long-term relationship with men, and a lot of these examples, the neglect these women experience, are the source of comedy in these interactions.
Maybe I need to reevaluate my relationship with my woman. I ain't gonna lie. When you and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I'm not gonna lie. It happens. It truly happens. And I think it's a byproduct of just how men and women are raised and like the dynamics they are like told to like keep and uphold. Like as a man, you got to be like the man of the household. You got to be making all of the financial decisions, all the like family decisions. Like you're taught to be in charge. So a lot of that emotional stuff goes out the window when it comes to a lot of things, because you got to make a lot of decisions with the brain instead of the heart. So that can lead to a lot of situations where your heart's just not in a lot of stuff, and that can leak into your relationships with your partner where they got to do all the emotional heavy lifting and you are just catching it and not reciprocating in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I agree with that, because it's a lot of situations where women become vulnerably emotional, and that same situation you put a man in, he was taught to not get vulnerably emotional in that situation. It's to say when it's something high pressure or when it's an argument, some men, or like when stuff gets intense, heated, say like your girl is questioning you about something and she's like visibly emotional, heated, mad, crying. Most of us men can literally stay calm and look them straight in the face without getting emotional, because we can go back to times where we were crying. Your mama or your daddy, your uncle, hey, shut up all that crying. Boys don't cry. Like this is how some of that was instilled in us, bro. Do I think it's not? I mean, as a man, you can be. I mean, a real man will cry. Like a real man has emotions. But it's a lot of people out here that's like really not tapped in with their emotions like that. And them the people I'm scared of. Like, 'cause if you can't get emotional, like I feel like something wrong with you. That's just me personally, but it's just a lot of people just not tapped into their emotions like that.
Well, laugh. It's a joke.
Oh.
Most times when people think of mistreatment or abuse in a romantic dynamic, they think of physical or verbal abuse. Oftentimes, emotional abuse, that is, the neglect of another person's feelings, is not considered as dangerous or malicious. In today's video, I want to highlight the dynamic of men hating their girlfriends and partners, not in the typical abrasive and obvious way we're so used to seeing, but in the more subtle and easily ignored inconspicuous way these men tend to mistreat their partners.
What the copyright?
These women's boyfriends might undermine their needs, but that doesn't mean you have to neglect your pleasure.
The only thing we promoting is these shirts.
Shout out to Forever Shiners.
Shout out to Forever Shiners for giving us free clothes, man. Y'all wanna know anything about Forever Shiners? Just let us know.
Mr. Big from Sex and the City, in my opinion, is I Hate My Girlfriend final boss. Every opportunity he had to humiliate, undermine, and deprioritize Carrie, he took with both hands and a smile on his face. And she was always willing and ready to crawl back for more.
Every time you get near him, you turn into this pathetic, needy, insecure victim. And the thing that pisses me off the most is that you're more than willing to go right back for more.
It's actually shocking to me that at any point in time, this relationship could have been considered a loving, aspirational kind of relationship. Mr. Big was always so apathetic and careless with Carrie's feelings that I truly believe the best thing he's ever done for her was die in the reboot, and just like that, Big has a heart attack and leaves his fortune behind to Carrie, and it was the most considerate thing he's ever done for her. I could do a whole separate video on the unending torture that Big subjected Carrie to, but for the purpose of brevity, I'll just stick to his most egregious offenses. In my opinion, the worst thing Mr. Big has ever done to Carrie was leave her at the altar. After years of deprioritizing her, and her still somehow finding a way to crawl back to him every single time, Big and Carrie decide to buy an apartment together. Carrie's concerned about her future if she and Big were to separate, which honestly is a very real possibility considering the dynamic of their relationship, and she's worried that if they do break up and they bought this apartment together, she wouldn't have any sort of legal protection.
I want it to be ours.
It is ours. I bought it.
And that's so amazing, but you bought it. So really, it's your place. And if anything were to happen...
What's going to happen?
To assuage her concern, Big offers marriage, which just doesn't seem like the best pretense for entering a marriage. It doesn't really scream till death do us part.
Hey, time out.
Over the course...
Okay, so obviously, cuz toxic. She know he was toxic. He treat you like dirt, knock you down, and you crawling to come back to him. In my opinion, he don't hate his girlfriend. That hoe just dumb. That's what I'm getting. That's all I'm getting from this. That hoe stupid.
Okay, dude, let me ask you this then. And in these situations, right, where you have the person who is, being, mentally abused in these situations, right?
Right.
Why do you think they keep going back? Like, why do you?
Because they stupid.
Okay.
Stupid.
Okay. But you gotta understand that the stupidity has to be rooted in something, right?
Like, I get that, but like, it's the same logic when women are dealing with abusers, and then when they getting abused in public, they won't help. But that's not the first time that men abused you. You had the chance to physically remove yourself from the situation. You chose not to. You actually chose to go back. You went back. Your problem.
Yeah, I just think sometimes it's not really as black as white as you make it seem. Sometimes it's a little gray. Sometimes they don't have anywhere to go back to. Sometimes like they just can't get over it. One of the hardest things for people to do is get uncomfortable. And unfortunately, some people's version of comfortable is being in these type of situations. So getting out of these situations is hard because it's uncomfortable. And then also with the conversation, like what she was talking about, how if she were to leave or if this were to end, she would have almost nothing. I don't know her background or if she has anybody you can go back to or anything like that. But like sometimes you're in this situation where you're backed in the corner and the only thing you can do is play along. And also sometimes, and I hate to say this, they like getting abused. I hate it. I hate to say that, but some of them actually get a kick out of it. Like, and it's not just a woman thing. There are dudes who actually love getting humiliated. People who have humiliation kinks who freaking I'm being so, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. People get off on this stuff. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And you're looking at me like that because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
He talking to the chat. He's talking to the chat. I feel like you're making it dangerous for other people if you're getting beat on and you don't relieve the relationship. Because when it gets to a point where you want to involve somebody else, then you get that person involved. What happens? Well, because your choices and your actions have consequences. Right. So you chose to go back to that toxic relationship. This nigga still beating on you. You finally get the courage to say, I've had enough. I'm leaving. I'm calling my brother, my dad. Brother and dad get there. They obviously not gonna be the happiest campers when they found out that they daughter, sister been get beat on. So now it gets physical. What if cuz comes to door with a gun? What if something happened? What if somebody dies? Somebody will die because you wanted to go back to a toxic relationship knowing the man was beating on you, know he really don't like you. For what? Like that's like what were you getting out of it? Was he giving you money? Was the sex that good that he could punch you like Floyd Mayweather on Showtime, bro? Like I just don't get it sometimes, bro.
Back to the video. Hey man. Let's get back to the video.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro.
Big begins to have doubts about the marriage because he's an 11-year-old boy trapped in the body of a 50-year-old man. And so on the day of the wedding, he decides to just bail at the last minute. The problem with Big is that he was always so deeply selfish and never cared about how his actions might hurt Carrie. He just assumed that she would always be available to him whenever he wanted. He never made an effort to really create space for Carrie in his life. From feeling uncomfortable with her leaving her things at his apartment.
I have my place, you have yours. We're together when we want to be, and we're apart when we want to be.
Like Woody and Mia.
Before Sun Yi.
To not telling his girlfriend.
Hey, it sound like he said the boundary right there. It sounded like he was keeping it real.
For how long a while?
I don't know, 7 months, maybe a year. Nothing's definite.
Wait.
But you'd be moving to Paris for yourself, right? I mean, don't move for me.
Well, why would I move to Paris if it wasn't for you?
No, I'm just saying, I don't want you to uproot your life and expect anything.
Oh.
He keeping it real.
I am such an idiot.
He keeping it real.
Hey.
He keeping it real. He said, hey, bro, like, I'm going out here to Paris. He like, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see the Eiffel Tower, and I'm trying to see what these foreign hoes talk about. He was like, don't come over here thinking you just gonna be with me. He said, I'm gonna be doing my thug thizzle over here.
You know what? I will agree there. He straight up said, he said it how it is. He said how he felt. No sugarcoating it. No nothing.
I'm saying there's no like partial truth. Like he literally being straight up. He like, hey, you got this my place. You got your place. Don't be leaving shit in my house. You take your shit and take it back to your house. He set boundaries and he's keeping it real. Maybe it's gonna be more. Let's keep playing the video, T.
I'm running around town in a beret, buying your greasy food, and you don't even care if I'm in your life.
Culminating in him leaving the love of his life at the altar because he started having doubts. At every point, Big chose himself, prioritized his feelings above hers, all while expecting her to be amenable to all his desires. His complete disregard for Carrie bordered on sociopathy, and you couldn't help but wonder, did he actually really hate her?
What's the over-under on that? What's the over-under on that? What's the over-under? Like, I don't get, like, from the clips I have never watched, what's the show, Sex and the City? I've never watched it, but from the clips he's showing me, bro kept it real. He kept it real, and I know he probably shouldn't have, like getting her on the altar and leaving her, I'm not cool. Like, that was crazy. But like all the other clips, he kept it real, bro.
In situations like this, it's a matter of who do you feel like giving more of the pot to? Because yes, she is in a situation where it's a lot of question marks. Why are you putting up with this? Why are you willing to put up with this? Why are you planning on staying, etc., etc.? But we can't lead the man out of this, no matter how honest he is about it. Because at the end of the day, he doesn't want this person to leave, as much as he makes it seem like he wouldn't care either way. Because he bought this woman in his life, kept her around, emotional relations, all that stuff, says bought an apartment for us, all these things. But it's a situation where the person is essentially narcissistic. He wants to put his toes in the water and never want to fully commit because he's always thinking about himself first. In every aspect of his life, he comes first. And if anything else falls apart, as long as he's still standing, he's okay with it. And I think that is a problem when people want to go and get into relationships, when they want to seek out partners, when they want to propose to somebody and then leave them on the altar. I think these are the type of people who should not be allowed to date, because once they get into these scenes and put these women in these situations, these women are then put in these debacles where they gotta wonder. And when people are looking at them like, why are you leaving? Why aren't you staying? It's because there's a level of love there. There's a level of like compassion there that they feel for that partner. And because we don't see what they see behind closed doors, they get that little sliver of love. So yes, as much blame as we can put on these women, we have to also be able to point enough of the fingers at this man, because These are emotional manipulation tactics, emotional withholding tactics. And we can say, why does she stay all the time? But let's be honest, there's a lot of situations where they will leave and that man will go nuts. They won't leave them alone. They'll text them every day. They'll swing over to their house, even though they know damn well if the person came back, they wouldn't change anything they do. It's because they just like having somebody around to do this stuff. It's a dangerous cycle. It's a very dangerous cycle, and it's not really easy to get out of.
Now let's get into the Big Bang Theory men, because all of them have found unique ways of showcasing how they hate their girlfriends. Another interesting component is how
Cuz, go
men
back.
sometimes treat the
Hey, my nigga. What's cuz name? Ravi? What was cuz name? Oh no, that's Aguilar's racist. I forgot cuz name. But this fit is atrocious. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh man. I know he had no girlfriend.
No, all
They
the
talking
fits
about
are
the
bad,
other
though.
dude.
All the fits are bad.
Ain't gonna lie. Short little cuz he low-key got this shit on with the belt buckle. With the
Nah,
Vans.
it don't match him.
You
It
know-
don't match him.
I'm fucking with it though. He got the hardest fit out of all of
I'm
them.
about to say,
Sheldon.
just 'cause
Sheldon.
it look good- just because it look good on you don't mean it look good on him.
He got that shit
Oh,
on
wait,
right
wait,
there.
hold on. I changed my mind. Nigga, is that a fucking Nintendo controller? But I ain't gonna lie, I changed my
I
mind.
told
I
you,
changed my
nigga.
mind. I changed
Yeah,
my
he got
mind.
that shit
Never mind, never
on.
mind,
I
never
told
mind,
you.
never mind. You got
He
it.
got-
You got it. You got
You
it.
got that shit on,
Never mind.
boy.
That's cool.
He
That's
got-
cool fit. I take it back. I take it back.
You got that shit on with the Vans. Real dripper. Real.
Another interesting component is how these men sometimes treat these women like their mothers. Oftentimes, we see where men simply replace one maternal figure for another when he enters into a romantic relationship. It's about ensuring that there will always be someone in his life that will do the domestic labor he is either unwilling or unable to do for himself. So, after leaving his mom, he finds someone else to wash, cook, and clean for him, in addition to being able to have sex with her. So, in addition to being his maid, she's also able to satisfy his sexual needs.
Morning, handsome.
Morning, Mom.
It's me.
Yes, it is, and you're so pretty in the morning.
No one exemplifies this dynamic more than Howard and his relationship to women in his life. When we're introduced to Howard, one of the earliest characterizations was that he had an unhealthy relationship with his mom.
Were you playing with him?
For God's sake, Mom, 26 years old!
Excuse me, Mr. Grown-Up. What do you want for breakfast?
Chocolate milk and Eggos, please!
He was the only member of the group that still lived with his mother and was wholly dependent on her for everything in his life. So when he started dating Bernadette, there was always an expectation that she was going to be taking the place of his mother.
Wait a minute, are you telling me your mother usually takes you to the dentist?
It's not weird. There's lots of kids there with their moms.
I can't believe this.
Now, these are some of the most dangerous men out there. I'm not even gonna lie. Hey, some women really go for that though. Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. Like, some girls actually like just being in that role, but to force it upon them to like actually like just have that be your baseline expectations out of a woman is like, I'm gonna call it this. It's very misogynistic. It's very misogynistic. Like, imagine getting into a relationship and already having like these set of roles that you and your partner have to do. Like, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, anything in the kitchen, that's a woman's job. So when I'm in a relationship, if my woman doesn't think that way, if she doesn't do any of these things, I can't be with her. I can't be with her. And a lot of people move like that. And I will be honest, there are women out there. I'm not going to say traditional cultures still exist. Like, you can find somebody who's perfectly okay. But for you to go out there and lay that expectation across everybody, and then they don't comply, you just, what's the word?
Okay, you gotta keep that shit real on both sides though. Cause both sides have unrealistic expectations. Like it's genuinely some women out here, they don't think if you can build a house by hand, you're not a real man. Just because the type of work you do characterizes what type of man you are. Like, if you don't work blue collar, oh, you're not a real man. You don't get dirty at work. You sit behind a computer desk. Oh, he don't do real work. That's not a real man. If you're not being a real man, I'm not finna be a real woman for you. I'm not finna. Oh, he didn't get dirty at work. He will work behind a computer. So why I gotta make him breakfast? Why I gotta clean his clothes? He got time to do it. He don't be tired for real.
What? It's fun. If I have no cavities afterwards, we go out for a treat.
All right, Howard, let's get something straight right now. I'm not going to be your mother.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where did that come from?
At some point, when they started dating, Bernadette spent time at the Wolowitz house so she could begin to bond with his mother. Then she realized how dependent Howard is on his mother, how much of a huge responsibility she would be taking on.
Does your mother always cut your meat for you?
Only when it's fatty. What don't be jealous, babe. Someday you'll get to cut it for me.
At some point, Bernadette also has Howard move into her apartment once they get married. However, Howard had always expected that Bernadette would just move into his mom's house.
Hang on. You seriously think I'm gonna live with your mother?
Howard, I think I can help here. Yes, Bernadette, that's exactly what he thinks.
It's a great house.
That nigga Sheldon was
First,
real
Howard
life
did not
funny,
want to
bro.
move out of his mother's house, but after much persuasion and relentlessness, he finally decides to move into Bernadette's apartments to appease her.
Oh, my mama.
Bernadette was initially very happy to move in with her partner, only to realize that he was expecting her to immediately step in and fill in the motherly roles and be his new mother.
So what's for dinner?
Well, I don't really have much of anything in the house.
That's fine. Why don't we go fool around in our bedroom? And then you can go shopping.
He wants her to coddle him the way his mother did all his life. Part of the comedy and a running gag that we see in the show is how much Bernadette turns into his mother, down to the way that she speaks at him sometimes.
So, what's the word? He wants butter! It's butter flavored syrup! I just told him that!
And obviously,
This is sad, bro. We gotta have a real conversation separately about dating when it comes to men, children, bro. We gotta have a different conversation about man, child.
No, nigga, we gonna talk about both of them, nigga. It's two sides.
Yeah, bro. We can't.
You got. My bad.
No,
my
go
bad.
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was saying you got like cuz spoiled by their mama, and you got to deal with women that was spoiled by their father that did every single thing they asked for when they asked for it, how much it was, didn't matter, like how much money you need, like. I'm like it's both sides. It's strictly both sides.
Yeah, it's a situation like some of these people are just doing too much as parents and just not letting these kids actually go out there and follow on their faces. That's what I like to call it. Most people call it spread their wings. I call it follow your face. But
Definitely what it is.
But it's just these situations where you're sending out these grown adults into the real world without actually giving them real world training. You're setting them up for failure essentially. And I get the concept of wanting to protect your children from the real world, but at a certain point they have to go out there, and you're not preparing them to handle it because you're not always gonna be there for them. They're gonna have their own lives. They're gonna have their own relationships. They're gonna start their own family. So you can't protect them from the world that is out there when they go to do these things. It's inevitable. I won't say inevitable. We've seen some people never leave their mother's sides. I ain't gonna lie. There's a one guy who lives in his mom's house, don't pay bills, no nothing, just does TikToks all day. I'm telling you, we gotta watch that video. That's great. But
nah, it's a lot of people like that though. Like it's a lot of people, but at the same time, as a parent, you have to set a boundary. Cause the main thing about the show, like the show we seeing, dude has a very good job. He's more than capable of leaving if he wanted to, but he's so spoiled from his mother. He's like, why would I leave when she does everything for me? Right. So now he's become dependent. So now he's looking for the same dependency from the woman of his choice. And if she can't be dependent for him, he's probably not he probably gonna break it off. He was like, I need, like he said, I need the fatty stuff cut off my meat and my breakfast in bed in the morning. Like, but you can't be like that, man. You can't be like that. You gotta grow up someday, bro.
I think that Howard cares about Bernadette, but it's very clear that there's an imbalance of domestic responsibility in the relationship. And in any romantic relationship that Howard would have entered, he was always
he stayed with this shit on though. I'm fucking with it.
Sheldon's relationship with Amy has always been very atypical in nature. In the beginning, they made it a point to forego emotional and physical intimacy in favor of focusing on their intellectual compatibility. They even hesitated labeling the relationship as being girlfriend or boyfriend.
Now, before this goes any further, you should know that all forms of physical contact up to and including coitus are off the table.
May I buy you a beverage?
However, as the relationship progressed, Amy wanted more. She yearned for deeper commitment and more emotional and physical intimacy from Sheldon.
At this moment, I find myself craving human intimacy and physical contact.
Oh boy.
All the while navigating his very specific brand of peculiarities. She at every point was willing to extend herself to meet him halfway, to make him as comfortable as possible, but he was wholly uncompromising. At every point, he prioritized his own needs and well-being above hers.
But our relationship agreement clearly states that when one of us is sick, the other must take care of them.
Oh, I see the confusion. No, the intent behind that clause was to force you to take care of me when I'm ill. When you're feeling...
It seemed like the same thing from the first one.
Guy, yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a yeah, I just need you for what you can do for me. And I really can't do nothing for you, baby. I really can't do nothing. Like she's literally yearning to this man. She's like, I need intimacy. I want to kiss, hug, all that good stuff. He like, you know what, cuz I'm gonna go to sleep on that. I'm gonna go to sleep.
It's the problem with people who think they are just better than ever. This is a byproduct of somebody who truly believes that there is no equal to them. People who feel like everybody is beneath them and everybody's opinions, what they can provide, is only a fraction of what they could do themselves. And I think Sheldon is one of those people. Sheldon will only surround himself with people who are intellectually like above the standard, but I don't think Sheldon will ever truly say that any of his friends are actually smart. Even if it was true, even if it wasn't, I don't think he'd ever say it. It's because these type of people just get off and their personalities are just being better than everybody else.
Yeah, I would say just being around somebody with a huge ego in general. It doesn't matter like what you do or say around them. They will always be like, "Well, I do this, and I'm better than you at this." Like it's always something. Like Sheldon will always bring up something, or how he was smarter than somebody, how he could do something better than somebody. Like Sheldon will always remind them, like, "I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you." And if somebody were to be smarter than him, Sheldon is the type of dude. He'll probably go study some type of book more to make sure he's smarter than you next time, because that's how big his ego is.
Yeah, and then when that transfers over into a relationship, there's no amount of things that the woman could do in the relationship to make him feel like they're his equal. I don't think there will ever be enough to provide enough facts that you can bring to the table that would make a person like a Sheldon archetype think that you are just as valuable in a relationship than they are. Because as much as people say this, people like that think they are the prize. They think that you are trying to earn them and it's not a two-way street. They feel like when it's all said and done, I am more valuable. I am the thing that you need to earn to have, instead of it being I need to earn you and you need to earn me. Because that's how a relationship should. But then you got people like this where they only do things in the pursuit of helping themselves. When they do things in the pursuit of making their ends meet without really considering all the people that they would harm or all the people that would get knocked out of the way in the process. So I just think relationships like this one specifically probably are like second or the most dangerous, because when the person does not care about how other people are affected most of the time, then it's really a bad situation.
Feeling better, you'll think that's funny.
She always had to compromise to his will, assuage his ego, and work overtime to make him comfortable. And even then, it was still never enough. Oftentimes, her efforts would be devalued, disrespected, or unnoticed. Even when Sheldon would have moments where he compromised, it was always begrudgingly and in an effort to momentarily placate Amy. He rarely gave himself over to be fully committed to her interests. Sheldon is a deeply selfish person, and while he may never intentionally try to inflict harm, his egotism and self-centeredness often makes him deprioritize other people's needs and wants.
I like you too.
I should hope so. I don't see anyone else banging on this door to put up with your nonsense.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, he overly gangster.
The people he supposedly cares for very much. He regularly undermines and devalues Amy's work.
Question for Dr. Cooper. When Amy first told you about her approach to synaptic tracing, did you think it was going to revolutionize the field?
Really? That's your question? What are you, Entertainment Tonight?
A lot of Sheldon's callousness can be attributed to his social ineptitude, so oftentimes his behavior is tolerated and excused by those around him. But that doesn't make the hurtful things he does or say any less hurtful. Sheldon demands that everyone around him, including Amy, be always compromising of his needs, and he never has to be considerate of theirs. So at any given moment, he's willing to hurt Amy to serve his own interests. Leonard's relationship with Penny has always been somewhat uneven. From the moment he met her, he had a strong infatuation with her, but it had nothing to do with her personality or character. Leonard simply liked Penny because she was hot, and since meeting her, had made it his personal mission to get her to fall in love with him. He spends a lot of time not letting his feelings for her be known, while also having a weird kind of entitlement to her whenever she goes out or dates someone other than him. It's like the Ross effect. Because Leonard doesn't think he deserves to be with someone like Penny, he makes himself overly agreeable to all of her desires, even if it's not something that he actually wants to do. In a way, he puts on a performance of kindness to manipulate Penny to like him more. When they do actually start dating, it's very clear that Leonard doesn't really take much of an interest in anything Penny likes. Oftentimes, her interest seems to be a massive inconvenience for him. Trivial things that don't seem to matter.
Does this sound familiar? I'd love to go shoe shopping with you. Hiking? It's great. It's 2 a.m. Of course I want to go to Koreatown and sing karaoke with your friends. Who wouldn't?
But conversely, Penny often makes an effort to connect with Leonard and his interests. She tries to understand his work more. She gets so accustomed to all of his unique hobbies.
Do or do not, there is no try.
Did you just quote Star Wars?
I believe I quoted Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my God. I'm lying in bed with a beautiful woman who can quote Yoda.
Let it have been the other way around. Is he? I don't know any of. Let's pick a random interest. Let's just say Amy liked Wizards of Waverly Place. Is Leonard gonna go watch Wizards of Waverly Place just to get a quote out of her? Just for that? Like,
hell no. Who would?
See, and that's the problem.
I ain't gonna lie, because what he doing is some sucker pandering type stuff. That's something suckers do.
No, bro.
You have-
It's
No,
worse than that,
no,
bro. It's
bro,
worse
no,
than that.
bro.
He's
Listen
doing-
though, listen
no,
though.
he did suck up pandering to secure. Once the bag is secured, that suck up pandering stuff goes out the window. That's why this is worse. He did it to attain. Now once the attainment is there, once the bag is secure, he don't gotta do that no more. At least in his mind, he doesn't feel like he needs to do that no more. Which, to be honest, it shouldn't have been an approach in the first place.
No, that's disgusting. That is nasty. That's like say this is hypothetically speaking. Hypothetically speaking, you and a girl was talking.
Right.
You had leaned more into her interest. You started like doing stuff she liked to do.
Mhm.
So she knows you love basketball. That's like her knowing the Golden State Warriors had a game, waking up that morning, figuring out Golden State won the game, and texts you in the morning, Golden State won, yay! Like, is that not crazy? Because she don't enjoy basketball.
But it's her going out of her way to at least dabble in your interests. Like it means a lot because now you know that this person actually knows what you like and went out of their way to at least explore it, even if they don't really necessarily like it themselves. It's something I could truly appreciate because most people would not do it. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, it's one of those things like with physical stuff like that. It's one of those things like you can't really fake an interest when it comes to something like sports, something that you like to do, like physically. Like you have a physical hobby and you ask somebody to do it with you. It could be as simple as watching a certain type of movie. Like if that person does not like that hobby that you have, they're not going to fake it, or it's going to be hard for them to fake it. Like if you're watching a certain movie, you're trying to binge a series, they're going to fall asleep, not show interest, be on their phone the whole time because the interests just don't match. They don't like doing it or they don't like it at all. But they're not going to tell you that.
And that's the thing though. Your partner will not be your carbon copy. They won't have the exact interests as you. They won't have the exact things that they like. You can be something you love that they absolutely hate. That's what relationships are about. They're about meeting each other in the middle. They're about making compromises to make sure that everybody's happy. So if a person does want to go hiking and you don't like hiking, first of all, try hike. You might like. But if you try hiking and you don't like it and you're like, okay, can we find a happy medium? I don't like hiking. Can we meet somewhere in the middle? Can we go cycling? Can we go to the beach? Something like that where you can get at least some of what you would get out of hiking, where I can also be there for you. And sometimes in a relationship, you just gotta sometimes you just gotta go hike. Sometimes she gotta go watch that NBA game. Like sometimes like there's this stuff that you just gotta do for the sake of, making sure that everybody feels like they're appreciated. And that's all this is about. And that's what this relationship is like trying to teach, that relationships, when it comes to being able to appreciate somebody, acknowledging their interest goes a long way. You don't gotta necessarily like it. You don't gotta necessarily hate it. You can be indifferent to it altogether. But acknowledging the fact that this person loves this thing is more than enough for anybody. It would be more than enough for me. Like if my girlfriend like went and I saw Golden State lost last night. Damn, that sucks. Okay. Of course I'm not gonna start talking to her about like all the stuff they could have did right and all that stuff. I'm be like, yeah, that really sucks. It's something I would appreciate. It's not something you would normally expect, but it's something. It's like, okay, she took time out of her day to explore my interest, and that means a lot. It does, at least to me anyway.
But anything she's interested in is treated as less important. He's even admitted to pretending to be interested in things she wanted to do just so he could sleep with her. Like lots of other men, Leonard is more preoccupied with what being with Penny says about him. The rest is history. We're still expected to believe that the dynamic between them is loving and that they're destined to be together.
At the end of the day, a lot of these relationships that we see on TV, as much as good ones we see, there's a lot of bad ones that really put a microscope on how people view certain relationships and how they go about them, especially when it comes to men and how they handle relationships. And I think there's a lot of different medias that represented. We saw it with The Big Bang Theory. We saw it, what is it, Sex and the City? We saw it with Sex and the City. And I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of other shows that do it as well. I think one of the biggest victims of this is Love Island. Love Island does this crazy style. We see all types of manipulative behavior on both ends. And if you want to see how Love Island just exposes all of that, there's a video right here on the screen that you can watch where we go into everything that Love Island does when it comes to toxic relationships. But if you don't want to watch that, we will see you in the next video, man.